So we did a vote on YouTube. Everybody wanted to see some sort of custom molding here to our VIP subscribers. All right, everybody wanted to see a molding instead of a finger mold, which would be kind of something like this. So you'd have the trunk, a lip, and then have the lip. But everybody wanted to see more of a mold that goes from here all the way down to make it look like a part of the trunk. So that's what we're going to be doing on this project. We're going to mold, so we're going to put a skin of Bondo, probably that thick, all the way around, rasp it, and then block it out. So what I'm doing here is sanding down our epoxy, our black epoxy with our DA 80 grit, just knocking all the high edges down. After we do this, what we're going to do is mix up some body filler. So what I'm doing here is we did the rasping. Now I'm using 80 grit. I'm just cutting all the high edges down. Now I'm also using, my hands and just using the 80 grit and just cutting all the Bondo out in places where it's not supposed to be. Then we're gonna spray, once we get it down a little bit more, we're gonna spray some Guide Coat, which is basic black spray paint right here. We're gonna let that dry and we're gonna block it again, little by little. What I'm doing here is just showing you how we are just doing some DA work. I'm using our panel as a guide, right? You want to feather the edges first. Always keep your DA straight. All right, so again, we got it pretty flat with our DA. Now we're going to be doing a guide coat followed by block sanding by hand. All right, crisscross motion all the time. You want to go one way, then go the other way. I'm just masking up our molding here, so when we sand, we're not gonna scratch up our molding. And yeah, I got a little lazy. I could have took out the door handles, but that was just extra work, extra 20-30 minutes that I didn't want to deal with. So the first thing you want to do here is just dry fit it. So we're just gonna put it on, see how it fits. We may have to sand a couple of areas. We're just screwing the bottom in, screwing the top in just a little bit. And you don't want to force things, right? We want to make sure it fits nice and snug. All right, so I'm just screwing the bottom in here. We're using regular basic sheet metal screws. This is how it's looking. Okay, now we have to take it off, do a little bit of shaving, shaping, very little, and then we're gonna put it back on. But we have to basically scuff in behind here, okay, both sides, so our epoxy is gonna stick. We have to make sure we scuff behind here. And they also still have to sand all of this undercoating out in the fender area. Again, the reason why we're doing this is because we're going to be epoxying the body kit to this rear quarter panel section. So we want to go down to metal. We want to take all this glue off. This is all that undercoating stuff. All right, so I'm using my little wire, not my wire wheel, but my disc wheel here to sand it all down like that. We're going to scuff behind here because we're going to epoxy everything together. So we're just checking the door alignment here, making sure it's pretty even. Then what I'm doing here is just doing a little bit of sanding so our body kit fits nice and flush to the fender, right? So you want to work it little by little. Make sure you get a good fit. Then we're going to screw it in just as a placeholder, right? Epoxy it, take the screw out, and then go from there.